Hey guys, we're back in class and we're going to talk about the very end of Zapatero in government, and that has to do with the deterioration of his public image, not only his own public image, but the whole political class image deteriorated and worsened over this period of time. The main point here was that, remember, in 2008 we had elections and Zapatero won these elections, and at that time Spain was already uh, could see how the economic crisis was coming. However, because of the fact that we were going to have elections and we were campaigning, and they were campaigning, Zapatero denied the crisis. He talked about transitioning deceleration of the economy, and he refused to mention the word crisis. Every single time. And the signs were clear. If you look at that graph there, the elections were in the first half of the year, were in April, if I recall well. So that was actually beginning the second term, the second trimestre, well, the second 3 months of the year. But what you see here is what the economic figures were for 2008. So already in the first 3 months, we could see how well the economy was kind of slowing down, but it was clear in the second part of the in the first part of the year still. And the fact that Zapatero was denying this and was trying to not to be clear with the people when addressing the crisis damaged his public image quite a lot and his credibility, because people, and actually this was the image and the narrative given to the media, that Zapatero was hiding reality from Spanish people when he knew what was coming to actually survive electorally in 2008. Two other things kind of damage political class image badly. And these were two things that actually we mentioned in the previous class, and this was constitutional reform. Remember the one that introduced in our constitution budget stability and financial stability as a requirement, as a goal of the state. And now, and that was done by a bipartisan agreement between PP and PSOE, with the mandate of the European Union to do so without asking the people. So it was a reform of the constitution without consulting the people. And obviously, this was really hard to sell to the public, because every other political party in Congress, even though they were smaller, even though they were less than 10%, they had less than 10% of the vote, criticized this, how this was done behind closed doors, behind curtains, so to say. So obviously, this damaged Zapatero's image as well. What else? The labor market reform that we've also mentioned in class, that he had to make because of the economic crisis and how jobs were being destroyed, trying to bring some flexibility to the labor market. So actually businesses will be more likely to hire people and to take the risk and invest. However, that was not really well understood by the electorate. How it was understood and how it was framed in the media was rather as an attack to the working class and trying to put it on the working class shoulders, the exit to the crisis and the solution to the crisis, rather than on employers. And obviously this was all done with the agreement of the Partido Popular, so it was both parties that were on board on this, and this resulted on 15M, and that's how 15M was a non-partisan movement, because actually the main parties were the ones being criticized. And if you understand Spanish well enough, you will understand perfectly well that sign, and that's what most people were saying in 15M, and that rooted deeply on Spanish people minds during 15M. And this political class image we'll see actually next class in the 2011 elections. We can already see that actually the participation and the turnout in those elections was lower. And obviously it has to do with how people were tired of these two parties. And obviously over time that will result in new parties appearing in the political spectrum in Spain. Before we finish this class, I want to mention something very important that happened in 2011. And it actually is to finish with a nicer note, with a happier touch to this period. And it is the end of ETA. We've mentioned ETA in class, and the terrorist group in the Basque Country. And after negotiations with the government, ETA decided to stop what they call the the armed fight against the Spanish state in October 20th, 2011. This, you cannot understand, I mean, I don't know if you can understand the scope of this, the magnitude of this, the importance of this decision, and what it meant to the Spanish people. There's a great book that I definitely recommend you that is called Patria. It's about how society was in the Basque country during this time and how people suffer terrorism and everything that was around terrorism. This book, actually, HBO was producing a TV show on this book that it should be released rather soon, most likely this year. It was expected actually in May, but because of the coronavirus, it's been postponed. But I absolutely recommend you to watch this TV show or read this book that is called Patria. I absolutely recommend it because with reading it, you will understand what it meant that this terrorist group stopped killing in the Basque country and how that, I mean, brought an end to this craziness in the Basque society. Okay, guys, so this was about it. I'll see you again next week. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.